In this video, I'll share insights about determining whether or not your knee pain indicates you're actually hurting your knee. Knee pain is an alert about what's going on in your body. When you receive an alert on your phone, the ringtone or the notification chime may indicate who it's from, how important it is, but often knee pain is more difficult to interpret. How people react to pain typically falls along a continuum. At one end, the reaction is avoiding pain at all costs, and at the other end, the reaction is completely ignoring or pushing through the pain. Figuring out how to respond appropriately can be really difficult. Utilizing my colleague's graph helps provide some insights about what the pain indicates. This graph is found within Dr. Doug Kelsey's books, The Runner's Knee Bible and the 90-Day Knee Arthritis Remedy. The horizontal line on the graph represents the duration of the activity or exercise, how long you're doing it. The vertical line represents the intensity of the exercise or activity, how hard it is. So if, for example, you jump several times, the jumping does not hurt your knee during or afterwards. The jump would be a short duration because you several times and it's done, but a high and relatively high intensity on your knee. And so the jumping activity would be indicated by that dot on the chart. Let's say you go for a fitness walk. Now the intensity of the fitness walk is lower than, say, jumping, but the duration is a lot longer. And if you're able to do the fitness walk and you don't get knee pain during or afterwards, that would indicate the fitness walk. The dotted line represents your threshold for activity. The position of the dotted line on the graph will be different based on your fitness level, your age, and your previous injuries. Any activity or exercise that does not cause pain will fall on the graph below the threshold for activity. And this zone, this pain-free zone, is known as the functional zone. But let's say instead of jumping several times on the ground, you jump several times off of a box onto the ground. So the intensity is higher and that pushes beyond your threshold for activity and you get some knee pain. Or you jump on the ground, but instead of several times, you may do it for several minutes. Maybe you're jumping rope. And so you push beyond the threshold or the tolerance for activity along the direction. And then when we come down to walking, you might get pain from walking if you walk too long. Or maybe you walk that same amount, but the trail is rough or lots of hills. It's rocky, and so the intensity of your walk is the same duration, but a greater intensity. In all four cases, because you're in pain and you're past your thresholds for activity, you're no longer in the functional zone. There are two zones beyond the functional zone. The first zone is known as the adaptation zone. And the zone beyond that is known as the injury zone. You get pain in the adaptation zone and you get pain in the injury zone. In the adaptation zone, the pain is relatively mild and it resolves in a short period of time. That period of time might be a few minutes or a few hours. It could be a day or two. As long as during the time in which you have the pain, you are not repeating the exercise or the activity that caused the pain in the first place, your body may actually be getting stronger during this time. However, if your pain lasts longer or is much more severe, you've likely entered the injury zone. Knee pain in the injury zone indicates that you're hurting your knee. So when I work with clients, I help them avoid the tissue injury zone, this injury zone section. Instead, I help them choose activities that fall within their functional zone and sometimes their adaptation zone. And together, as we're working through this process, what happens is their threshold for activity increases. So it moves in this direction, giving them a bigger functional zone, which means they can do more activities without knee pain.